Hello everyone and welcome back to the FTB Spot. I was just about to make a tutorial on how to build the advanced solar panel when they went ahead and released the FTB Ultimate Pack. The Ultimate Pack made a few changes to how the solar panels, the normal solar panels are made. So today I'm going to go through and show you what the changes are in that, just in case you've gotten hung up on anything there. Hopefully I will be able to show you how to do the advanced soon, but there's a few new machines that I'm also going to go through in different tutorials. So first off, to make the regular solar panel in the FTB Ultimate Pack, you are going to need some circuits. Once again, this is just review, but you can use rubber bars. Rubber bars are gotten from a different kind of rubber, but you can use the rubber bars along with the regular rubber and any kind of the copper ingots. So we'll grab some of those. We need to make the circuits. Circuits can be made the same way. I'm just going to be using circuits. You can use a couple of different types of circuits for the solar panel, but we're just using regular old circuits. We also need a carbon plate just like before, so we'll get one of those going in the compressor so that it's ready for us. You also need glass panes, which is just pretty much normal. Just like before, we'll put the glass panes up in there, 2 circuits. A carbon plate will go in the middle, and double checking, and see that you can make a couple different types of circuits, the AND gates, redstone circuits, that type of thing. I like to use regular circuits because it's most familiar to me. I'm used to the IC2 stuff. It's just my preference on there. Now the last thing we need is a new type of plate. Before you could make it with silicon cells. That is now changed. Now you need a silicon plate. And to make the silicon plate, well, it's a little bit more involved. Number one, to make silicon cells, you cannot use the well, you can use the industrial centrifuge, excuse me. You can use the industrial centrifuge to make them only with redstone, though. Nothing else will work. I'm going to put my empty cells up in the cell spot, and I'm going to drop a bunch of flint dust. If you remember, that's what I used before to make the silicon cells. It will no longer work. You can use 10, and I'll split this up, 10 redstone to make silicon cells. Now, this, I looked it up on the wiki. This is going to take 1100 seconds, which is about 18 1/3 minutes. That's a long time for silicon cells. The other option you have is to use a new machine called the Industrial Electrolyzer. The interface is somewhat similar to the centrifuge. I'm not really sure what this lava block is in here. I have to... all this new stuff just came out just about over the last week, I would say, so there's a lot we need to catch up on. You do want to, if you want to use the flint dust, you don't put it in the compressor first of all, you put it in the macerator, and that will chew up your flint for you, turn it into the flint dust. You can then put it into this industrial electrolyzer with the empty cells, which I put all of them in my centrifuge. There we go. And that will break those down into the silicon cells and the, what was it, hydrogen cell, I believe, which is basically just compressed air. Or was it compressed air? Yeah, I think it was compressed air. Now, this industrial electrolyzer needs to be powered by 128 volts. You need to hook it up to an MFE or an MFE output, or step it down from an MFSU, or step it up from regular bat boxes and generators. So that in itself is complicating things. We didn't have to have an MFE or the transformers to step it up to 128 volts. You can run it on less than 128, but it could give you some weird errors. It's recommended that you run it on the 128 if at all possible. Now once it's done with that, processing that flint dust, you'll see it gives you a silicon cell. So that is how we're getting silicon cells now. And the redstone one is still going. It'll be going for a while. The next step is turning those silicon cells into plates. To do that, we need this beast of a machine right here, which is the industrial blast furnace. Yes, I am going to have another tutorial on this one, hopefully within the next day or two, on how to build, operate, and all the things on this. This is also being hooked up to 128 volts, otherwise you will have issues. It was not working for me on 32. What you do here with your silicon cells is take 2 of these cells and go ahead and drop it up into the little fire symbol, and it will blast those or smelt those or whatever it's doing and turn them into the silicon plates. So we have a bit different, a bit more complicated process for making these solar panels. We need a few extra pieces of machinery, and these are not cheap. The industrial electrolyzer requires quite a bit to go into it. And this blast furnace, it's using 34 machine casing blocks, and there's 6, I do believe, 6 refined iron per block. You're talking a lot of iron here to make this, not to mention the stuff that goes into this main block itself. So now that this is done, it gives us our 2 cells back, which is nice, and the silicon plate. Let's take that silicon plate, move it back over here, and we finally get back to where we were with having our solar panel. Now, a word of caution here: when you're moving your solar panels around, do not take a pick to them. You end up getting your generator back, which means all of your silicon and your carbon plate, your circuits, it all disappears. If you need to move your solar panel, you need to use a wrench or an electric wrench. Electric wrench is over here. This one's a charged up version. And you can also use... oh wow, they put there's more wrenches in here now. That's one of these. Must be that one. Use the wrench. This one will give you a chance of losing it still. The electric wrench, I believe, has a mode setting that you can set on this. How do you... I'll have to look on how to set that again. I never use these. There was a lossless mode and a non-lossless mode. Do use the lossless mode whenever you can. Right click and it'll pop your solar panel off for you with the electric wrench. That really is the way to go. Generally, when I'm playing with Ben, we won't move anything until we get the electric wrench and can use the lossless mode on the thing. So let me see if I can get this to break with that. Perhaps they got rid of the lossless mode on that too. I'll look into that. I'll let you know in the next video what they're doing with the electric wrench, and if that's just default on the lossless now, which would be nice. Before, you couldn't take more than 1 or 2 machines off without losing something. So that is how you make the new solar panel. Now, I did want to show you real fast here what the difference between the solar panel and the advanced solar panel is. And it doesn't look like I have enough wire in here. Oh yeah, I do. What am I saying? So everything is empty right now, and I'm going to hook up. This is a regular solar panel I just hooked up, and turn it back into day. The regular solar panel gives you, what is it, like 2 EU per tick, or no, I think it's 1 EU per tick. And it's not very fast. You can hook up your cables to any side of the solar panel and it will work fine. It will charge up directly from the solar panel into a furnace. One of my commenters said they had a problem with powering a furnace directly from a solar panel. Well, as you can see right here, it does seem to be working, so I'm not sure what was going on with your issue if you were indeed having an issue like that. As you can see, it is slowly charging up, so that is fine. The advanced solar panel, also the same way, will charge up. You can see that was really fast. And it's outputting at 8 EU a tick right now. These 4 slots are for charging batteries. It will charge the first slot first, and then the second, then the third, not all 4 at once. And that is all those slots are for. This sun symbol tells you it's daytime. A moon symbol will tell you it's night. It actually does work at night, though. It gives off 1/8 of the energy output, or 1 EU. So that's a nice little perk of this thing. but they've made this a whole lot more complicated than last time. You're now having to use iridium to get the advanced one. So stay tuned. We're going to go over in the next few videos. I want to go over the industrial electrolyzer. That's what this is. Industrial electrolyzer, and I want to go over this industrial blast furnace, how to make that and operate it to make sure it's working right. So thank you again for watching the FTB Spot. Thanks for putting up with my change in the new world. They just keep putting out these mod packs. We have a lot to go through with what they're giving us in this new mod. There's plenty here to do. I have had a couple requests for other tutorials, such as the ComputerCraft. That was the most recent one that someone had asked for. I don't have plans, unfortunately. I do not have plans to do that one in the near future, as I'm going to be doing more of the FTB Ultimate, and ComputerCraft is not in FTB Ultimate. It is in the Mindcrack pack. So I will get to it at some point, but for the next, at least the next few weeks to a month, I will not be touching on the ComputerCraft. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.